Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this box seat special from the New Zealand Harness Racing Awards, sponsored this year by New Zealand Bloodstock Standout. It's great to have your company as we look back on last season, a season of transition where some of our best horses left and created vacuums, and we're going to see who stepped in to those roles. It's going to be a big night ahead. Some of the winners you'll know, but I promise you, if you stick around, there'll be a few surprises as well. To win any race, as we all know, is very difficult. Let's go find out who won the best. Here are the finalists for the 2-year-old pacing for the year.
Tiffany Rose, Spellbound, Sweet on Me, Amazing Dream, and the 2-year-old's pacing filly of the year is Sweet on Me.
Sweet on Me, she's just going to be too good for them. Sweet on Me beats Spellbound.
When you have a horse like Adore Me, not that I actually know this from experience because I've never had a horse like Adore Me, you sort of hope they'll kick on as a broodmare, and some don't. But for her to produce to your own stallion and Sweet Lou, this little pacing machine, first foal off the rank, well, that's beyond dreams.
Yeah, it is, contrary to expectations, and probably name a whole lot of absolutely top mares that haven't quite gone on at stud. We're enormously lucky. We're grateful to everybody at All Stars for how it's turned out. But there's one person who had absolute confidence, took it in his stride, had no doubt that it was all going to happen. Charles always has faith.
Now tell me, Charles obviously can't be here tonight. He's hanging in there. Is he still watching the occasional race?
Michael, he's 95. He's failing mentally and physically. But the first question, he sort of knows you when you arrive. Certainly works it out. And his first question to Mary is always, what's won this week? We see him every week and he wants a report. And he's bloody annoyed when we haven't had a winner.
Well, look, give him our love. Shake his hand for us or give him a hug and let him know we're thinking of him. And congratulations on Sweet on Me.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
The finalists for the Emblems New Zealand 2-year-old pacing colt or gelding of the year are Smooth Deal, Flying Even Better, One Change, Virgil. And the 2-year-old pacing colt or gelding of the year is One Change.
But it's One Change. You can trim the nose hairs. You're not going to need them today, One Change. Clear of Flying Even Better. One Change wins it by 2.
It's funny when you've got a horse at the All-Stars because you ring them and you say, how's my horse going? And they sort of go, oh, you know, it's not very committal, is it? And then all of a sudden your horse gets to the races and you hope they get better and better. And then your one just turned up and went like that. It must have been a remarkable ascendancy from being, I don't know, 6th or 8th in the pack to top dog.
He was nobody and then he's become somebody. I look out the morning tea window each morning and I watch him and I've thought, where's this guy going? But it wasn't until about 8 months ago he decided to put it all together. Went to a trial out here at Addington, and I don't know if the new complex sort of turned him on a bit, but he certainly went well and he's never looked back.
So you obviously work at the All-Stars helping out?
I do morning teas, I feed the mob.
Well, they're a pretty skinny-looking bunch. You're not doing a very good job.
Well, I reserve my decision on that.
So talk me through this. A horse goes to the sales and it gets bought back because it's not the cleanest looking horse conformation-wise. And then Mark comes across and says, well, Mike, I've got a great idea. I'm going to buy your horse with a bung hoof. Now, how does that work?
You just trust the man.
You picked the right man to trust.
I did. And the right woman to trust as well. You know, when you get Mark and Nat, you get the exceptional trainers, and you get very talented drivers, and they're locked into its system now, but they're part owners of a horse. They can't drive somebody else's, which is reassuring.
Well, if you're feeding them in the morning, they're probably not going to bother anyway. I take it Jules Day was the big one, because you won all the big 2-year-old races, but Jules Day is something special to us. So was it the most exciting, or was it earlier on when he was first starting to win the big ones?
It wasn't the most exciting, because by that stage I thought maybe we've got something here, but winning 4 by a nose, I can assure you my blood pressure pills were working overtime. But, you know, you look back at the replays and you still say to yourself, how the hell did he get home? It was always the last stride. So they were the exciting ones. The one, the harness Jules, was the icing on the cake, basically.
Now, where's he at the moment? Because we haven't seen much of him yet. I take it he's going to participate in the size stakes?
One would hope so. That's what they tell me.
Tell them there'll be no morning tea if he doesn't.
Yeah, well, you would need to talk to Ashley now. She is our she's the stroppy strapper of One Change. And she's the one who keeps him healthy, happy and handsome.
Okay, well, it's a good point. Ashley, come up here. I'm sick of talking to Mike. So I want to have a quick word to you. Are you nervous? Are you a nervous talker, or is this going to be this is going to be fine? Okay. Now tell me, what sort of horse is One Change? Is he a nice horse?
He is. He's a lovely horse.
Okay. Do you spoil him because he's good?
Yes, I do.
So how does one spoil a horse? Do you give him licorice, or do you hug him, or what happens here?
Lots of hugs.
Lots of hugs.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm feeling unspoiled. Can I have a hug? Oh, this is so nice. I feel like One Change. Oh, well, congratulations, guys. Well done to the connections of One Change.
The finalists for the Inkwise 3-year-old trotting filly of the year are Tickle Me Pink, Swiss Miss, Cheerful, Overzealous, and the 3-year-old trotting filly of the year is Tickle Me Pink.
As Michelle presents it to Ken, this is a different type of an award, because this is a horse who, Ken, this time last year, you nearly lost, and it happens occasionally in racing. It's a difficult time when a horse like her gets sick, and for a lot of people caring for her, you got her back. And again, as I said to the Kennies earlier, you couldn't have dreamed what happened next. She's gone through, won all those races, and then taken out the jewels.
Yeah, incredible result. I mean, 12 months, we were in tears. Like, she'd started off her career so well, and then got very sick over in Australia. And you talk about Tony Hurley being wild, but I've never seen him so upset over a horse. So, yeah, it was pretty tough. And it was tough for the syndicate. We went over there, and she actually lost 100 kilos. So I'll give you an idea on how sick she was. And then bringing the horse back, incredible job my staff on the farm did. You know, they were up all hours of the night, and the vets, and the result, coming back the way she has, has just again been just fantastic. And you know, little Chanel here, I mean, she again has been with this horse day and night, and it's just great to see her come back. You know, just quite remarkable.
Some people would look at this and say the Breckons own maybe 100 horses, or shares in 100 horses. There's horses all over the farm. Would it really bother them that much if a horse gets sick? But you guys were really upset by this. Is it a case that they become like little fur babies, and you do get, and it is tough when they get crook?
Yeah, look, it is. I mean, we treat every horse the same, but when you've got a horse that is special, and again, what's quite odd, her full sister, we haven't had much luck with her either. I mean, she got caught in fences, and again, we've had huge problems with her. So to have 2 wonderful horses, both have won Group 1s, you know, out of a mare that has only had the 2 foals, we've had troubles with her 2 breeding. So it was fantastic, you know, but it is hard when you see a very, very good horse, and I find it harder being manager of the syndicate and bringing a lot of people in that are new, trying to get them to understand it, you know, the disappointment when you're ready to rock and roll in a big race and then come down with a virus or illness.
I think it's wonderful what you're doing with the syndicates, and I know how much that all of you guys put into racing, but I want to get Chanel to come across here, because she doesn't want to come across here. So come across, and you love this horse maybe more than all the horses in the world. What was it like on Jules Day when your little girl got home by a nose in the Jules? Did you have a cry?
It was pretty special. I think the most emotional race was her comeback race when she won. Like, we weren't expecting that, and just when at the top of the straight when she was still in front and she just kept kicking. Yeah, I cried that day.
And obviously the rehab for the horse when she came back in, and as Ken said, she lost 100 kgs. It's hard. It's hard when you love an animal that happens, isn't it?
Absolutely. She really looked terrible, and to go from what she looked like to how she ended up, it was really sad. But for her to come back and do what she did, it was a credit to her and a credit to everyone that put all the work into getting her back to her peak.
That's you. You're one of those people. So Chanel, without you, this trophy wouldn't be coming forward. Congratulations to you, but congratulations to you, Chanel. Well done, guys. One of the great feel-good stories of the season. We've all had horses get sick. As we know, sometimes it doesn't end well. So it's a heartwarming story.
The finalists for the Vincent 3-year-old Pacing Filly of the Year are Belle of Montana, Have Time, Best Western, Princess Tiffany, and the 3-year-old Pacing Filly of the Year is Belle of Montana.
Belle of Montana is a length over Kayla Marie. Belle of Montana and Zachary Butcher win it.
This filly starts a season not at your place unknown, but to all of us totally unknown. And we had a really champion filly from the 2-year-old bunch and Princess Tiffany, and you're thinking, man, she's going to need to be good to beat her. And she beat her more often than not, and she turned into one of the great modern fillies. It must have been a remarkable thing to just see her get better and better and better with every race, Katrina.
Yes, well, she was a very exciting filly before she hit the racetrack. And, yeah, it was a lot of great competition, absolutely, yeah.
I spoke to Barry on many occasions about her, and he said one thing that really hit home to him, what a great owner Dean is, because he said, Dean, do you want to go to the New South Wales Oaks? And Dean said, Barry, you make the decisions. And being an Australian, you would think he would want to go. He said, do you want to go to the Victoria Oaks? Barry, you make the decisions. And again, with the Breeders' Crown, he said to Barry, look, it's up to you, take him or not take him. That's the mark of a guy who would love to see his horses on the big stage, leaving it to a Hall of Fame trainer like Barry.
Yes, Dean is a fantastic guy. He's a fantastic owner. He just loves the trophies, and he just loves racing horses. He's got quite a few horses in work, and he's a great guy.
She's back in work, I presume, heading towards Alexandra Park, I would have thought, for the Queen of Hearts type thing?
Yep, Barry's thrilled with her. He worked her this morning and he's thrilled with her, yeah.
Please pass on our congratulations to both Barry and to Dean, and congratulations to yourself for Belle of Montana.
Thank you, Mick.
Katrina Purdom accepting the award on behalf of Dean Shannon and, of course, husband Barry Purdom as well as the trainer.
The finalists for the IRT 3-year-old Trotting Colt or Gelding of the Year are Get Lucky, Enhance Your Calm, Tricky Rick, Lotta Muscle, and the 3-year-old Trotting Colt or Gelding of the Year is Lotta Muscle.
What a great story it was. Went into the Derby there. I think Enhance Your Calm was about a $1.50, $1.60 favourite, and Bob pulled off the miracle drive and got the job done. When you watch that race again, it's almost like Bone Crusher on Uther, like about 20 for 30 years ago. At the 200, you think, well, this thing can only run second.
Oh, of course, yeah. No, I thought we were all done. I thought we were running for second. No doubt about it. And he just grew another leg and come home. I don't think Bob thought he had it either. So, anyway.
No. He's not a very imposing horse. There's not a hell of a lot of him, but geez, he's gone some massive races last year. The Hambletonian win from the second line, really good up north on a couple of occasions. I spoke to Paul last week, and he said he thinks some of the form dips might be because he thinks he might have ulcers.
Yeah, we've been treating him for ulcers, and I actually just took him back to Paul's on Monday to get him. He's going to take him to Prebbleton Vets and get him scanned again. So hopefully that was his form guide. Yeah.
We asked earlier to Karen Brecken about owning trotters. It's almost a disease, isn't it? Like if you love a good trotter, gee, they can break your heart. But when they're right, there's no better feeling.
Oh, no, a straight-out trotter is just brilliant. And the whole family, the Smith family from Kaikoura and that, we've always had trotters, so it's just in the blood, really, Mick, yeah.
Come over here, Bob. We're not going to let you get away. We know how you love a chat. So 250 metres out, Mark Purdon's out there in front on Enhance Your Calm, and you pull out from 3 back on the inside, but you're thinking to yourself, beautiful, I'm going to run second in the Derby.
Yeah, well, I was just watching Josh, really. I thought, I was just hoping I'd pip him for second, and then, yeah, the last 50, the little fella pinned his ears back and hit the line, and lucky enough to nab him.
When you were a kid growing up, you saw your dad often driving in Paul Nairn's colours, which of course are the caduceus colours. It must be an amazing feeling in a race like the Derby to wear those colours on the big stage.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's good.
Shut up, Bob. You're hugging the mic here, Bob. Mate, congratulations on your Group 1. We all enjoyed it, mate.
Thank you.
Bob Butt, go and shut him up.
The finalists for the Garrard's Horse and Hounds 3-year-old Pacing Colt or Gelding of the Year are Memphis, Tennessee, Ultimate Sniper, Jesse Duke, Grand Chico, and the 3-year-old Pacing Colt or Gelding of the Year is Ultimate Sniper.
Ultimate Sniper, Jesse Duke, Supreme Dominator, they get close. Ultimate Sniper.
It must be a strange feeling when you're paying bills for a 2-year-old and it's not going to race, and you're thinking, well, this is great. We pay for this thing at the sales, it's not going to race. I suppose you just got to trust the man or the woman when she says, it'll be fine, we'll get you a nice 3-year-old, because this horse emerged from absolutely nowhere to be the best 3-year-old in the country.
Well, I think we had very good advice. The Syndicate raced Ultimate Machete, and racing with 2 certainly put some wear and tear on his legs, so we thought with a brother would take our time, and it's paid off.
He looks a slightly neater horse and a bit more compact than Ultimate Machete. I suppose you're hoping that helps him get deeper into his career.
Yes, he's a different type. He's certainly he's still a stallion, and he's filled out and he's looking the part, yeah.
I don't get a chance to ask you this question very often, and I'm not sure you know the answer to this question. How many horses do you have shares in?
Well, personally, Margaret's not here.
Now's the time to tell us.
There's probably 15 running around.
Oh, okay. I'm glad Margaret doesn't know that. Congratulations, mate, on Ultimate Sniper, to you and the Kennards and everybody involved, because he's a wonderful horse. Ultimate Sniper, our 3-year-old pacer of the year.
Brecon Farms had further success on the night, with their filly Tailored Elegance collecting the 2-year-old Trotting Award, and the Tony Herlihy trained Bolt for Brilliance was also amongst the prize winners. Other award winners on the night included a couple of 4-year-old ladies, Kenny's Dream and Ellie Mack, who had outstanding seasons. Stay tuned to the Harness Racing New Zealand Awards. After the break, we check out the 2019 Moment of the Year.
The award for 5-year-old Trotting Mare of the Year. Good luck to the finalists.
Ruthless Kayla, Harriet of Mont, Destiny Joan, Bonnie Highlander, and the 5-year-old and older Trotting Mare of the Year is Destiny Joan.
A lot of these horses come from the stables at the head of the premiership. And then there's Destiny Jones, the little mare who tries her heart out against all these superstars, and she's not from a big stable, and it must be so special to have a horse in the big leagues when you don't have 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 of them.
Yeah, pretty much, Frank. It's pretty special to have a horse like her. I only train 3 or 4. At the moment, down to 1, because it's pretty hard working a horse like her and then have to sit behind the other one. So. But, yeah, she is pretty special. She tries her heart out. You know, if she runs a bad one, you know there's something wrong. But she gives her best 110% every time she goes out. So
it must be very special when they roll into the birdcage and your job's done, and you hand the reins over, and then you see Nairn, Williamson, Purdon, Hope, and you think to yourself, oh, look at this, here we go.
Yeah, I call her the quiet achiever, because she doesn't get many accolations as far as things go, but she's always thereabouts, and It is. It's pretty special, and fingers crossed for tomorrow too.
Look, it's quiet no more. You've now got the best trotting mare in the whole country. Like you've won some nice races, but this is the best trotting mare in the country you've got now. I need to ask you a question I always worry about with the trainers who have smaller teams and you get a horse this good. Because they love them so much, I'm terrified you're going to feed her too much. Every time you see her, you're going to spoil her and give her a cuddle and want to give her a bit more because she's the family pet. Have you had to control yourself there?
Yeah, well, Kevin can lay claim to that. He thinks I feed her too much, so. But yeah, that can happen, and yeah, she gets the best of everything. So it's pretty hard not to.
Hey, it's working. Good luck tomorrow. Good luck for what lies ahead. Congratulations.
The finalists for the Hanley Formula 5-year-old and older Pacing Mare of the Year are Mossdale Rose, Dream About Me, Enchante, Step Up, and the 5-year-old and older Pacing Mare of the Year is Dream About Me.
Again, we've got this recurring theme tonight of horses who have had issues on the way through, which I suppose most good horses get an issue somewhere, but she had a really tricky 18-month-ago period and things didn't go your way, and again, she bounced back, and you could almost see the courage in her. You could almost see the fight. We knew the ability was there, but to fight back from adversity showed what a great mare she is.
Yes, it did, Michael, and that's thanks to All Stars. We were quite happy to retire her at the end of the season when she'd had all the trouble with her feet, and talked to Mark, and he said, no, I want to have another crack at the Cup. So she stayed in work.
So, but she's retired now, though, isn't she, for the season?
She's got a positive scan to Captain Treacherous.
Oh, wonderful. And obviously it's been an amazing family for you. She didn't really need to do much more because she's such a great horse, but by staying in work, you get the breeders here and the mile in Australia, which just adds that little bit of icing to what's a pretty amazing cake.
Yes, and it was a fitting finish to retire her after winning the Ladyship Mile.
Congratulations to you guys and, of course, to Charlie for what happened there with a wonderful, wonderful mare.
Well, if it wasn't for Dad, we wouldn't be here.
Just like to mention one special part of the Dream About Me story, and that's Tim Williams. Tim stuck with the mare when it wasn't fashionable to do so. And we're very grateful to him. We're very grateful to everybody at All Stars because she was a hell of a job for a while with vets and farriers and all sorts of things. But at the end of the day, they put the horse first, but they got the horse right. But thank you, Tim, too. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Tim as well. Good on you, Timmy.
The finalists for the Air Park Canterbury 5-year-old and older Pacing Entire or Gelding of the Year are Jack's Legend, Star Galleria, The Fixer, Cruise Bromang, and the 5-year-old and older Pacing Entire or Gelding of the Year is The Fixer.
On the inside is Dream About Me and The Fixer. Tiger Tara, The Fixer's coming through on the lane. The Fixer is going to win the New Zealand Cup of Nose.
Come here, Pauline. First of all, outstanding shoes. Haven't seen those before. They look really good. If you get a chance, check out Pauline's shoes. They're very good. Well, one race when you win it, you don't have to worry about getting a drink is the New Zealand Trotting Cup. You must never get sick of seeing that video. I could watch New Zealand Trotting Cup videos for like 6 hours straight if they had them going back that far. What's it like when you actually win it? I'm only asking because I'm probably never going to know.
It's incredible. It's 40 years hard work and being involved in racing, and it was just such a joy. And particularly for my husband Stuart, he's sitting over there, but it's been a long game, but a game that we love, and that we just continue to meet these wonderful people with the Kennards, and they have amazing trainers, and we're just so blessed to have had the Fixer.
When you win something like that, and I've asked famous sports people this, when you have that absolute moment of euphoria, do you go into a semi-shock where you don't kind of remember what happened for 5 minutes and you have to watch television the next day to let it all sink in?
No, it was just a dream come true, and I had a feeling all week. I just knew we were going to do it. And my husband, he had the horse that was second. He turned around, he just was disappointed he didn't make more money than what he had on the Fixer, which is But no, it was just incredible. We had our family there, and it was just, the moment was so spectacular.
Glennis, I'll get you to slide across here, and I'll slide in behind you here, Pauline. This is not new territory for you guys. Obviously, Lazarus won 2 New Zealand Cups in the most emphatic of style, but I'm picking the little fella, the fixer, who's not big and bold and imposing like Lazarus. Winning was a very different feeling.
It was, I think of more of a relief and a joy in the way that he, as well known, well documented, he has hoof issues. So we were really just under the pump, Mark and Nat probably more so, to have him ready and right for that day, and they did. They left no stone unturned, and he turned up and did us all proud. So he's very dour and he's just a true and out stayer, and he just dug deep and got home for us. So, and it was really a huge thrill just to experience it with some new owners in our syndicates that probably never dreamed they'd ever be on that big stage. So that was pure joy just for Philip and I think, in more ways than just winning the race too.
It's a pretty special race, the New Zealand Cup. Is it still, you're a Cantab, is it still the race that matters the most?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's the race that every, I think, person in this room would like to win. I mean, we've been fortunate, obviously, with the Miracle Mile and some other races, and they're all special in their own right, but there's nothing like a New Zealand Cup. And I just want to say a big thanks to Mark and Natalie for all the work they've done in order to get these horses to the line for us all over the last number of years, and we couldn't thank you enough.
Congratulations on a wonderful season. Good luck with the horse. We know he's a tricky proposition. Good luck with what they're trying from heading into this season.
Yeah, we'll keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully he takes his spot on the day, and I'm sure he will.
Good on you guys. Congratulations. Good luck trying to defend the title with the fixer.
The owner of the year is Gene Feast.
We've spoken a lot in the last couple of years because you're very successful. Do you have a favourite horse out of them all time? Out of all the horses you've ever owned, do you have one favourite?
I've got 2. Vincent and Spanish Armada.
Okay, well, Vincent, I understand, because he's a big, powerful, good-looking boy. We'll get to him in a second. Why Spanish Armada?
She gave us so many thrills, and when she won the Jewels and I was driving back, I was thinking of the first race she won, and Bill and I were at home, and she won at Auckland, and she won, and we were sitting in the lounge, and I said to Bill, no, she went pretty good. She might win another couple. Oh. And she went on to be a very good horse, and she was a favourite, yeah.
What about Vincent? Because when you buy horses, the dream, the absolute, this is the miracle, is that they become as good as he does, but then they go on to be stallions, because so few horses do go on to be stallions. You must have immense pride now. His foals are on the ground, and his name is going to be part of harness racing for another 100 years.
Yeah. He was such a lovely natured horse and a genuine horse, and you just couldn't help but love him.
Okay. How many... I ask people this from time to time. Exactly. How many horses do you and Bill together or have shares in, or do you not know the answer to this?
I normally don't, but I thought you might ask me, so I counted them.
This would have taken a while.
I think it's 10.
You've only got 10?
Yeah, because we just sold 2, so that's 10.
You have a lot of success for a person who only had 12 horses. There's people who have 12 horses who can't get a winner, Jean.
We're very lucky, and we've got very good trainers.
Well, congratulations. So you deserve owner. Yeah, thank you for all the money you put into our industry, and we hope you keep coming back and winning races for a long, long time.
Okay, and I'd just like to thank All Stars, everybody there. It's a team effort. It's not just Mark and Nat. It's the whole team, and thanks very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gene Feast, our owner of the year, sponsored by Addington Raceway.
The Witches of Westview best moment of the season is overzealous after her comeback from her Waitangi Day accident.
Remarkable story. Horror moment on the roads you know so well. It must have been some terrible times between the crash you had with overzealous in the back of the truck, Margot, and those moments when we came back and we said, hey, this is all going to be all right.
Yeah, certainly nothing you would wish on anybody, but to be fair, is probably something I don't regret. The way all you guys out there just jumped on board and were just amazing, kind of, you know, they say life's a journey, and the last 8 months has been pretty amazing, really.
It's humbling when life doesn't go the way you want it to go, and then you realise how much people care about you.
Yeah, no, like I said, it's just been incredible, the response. Like, everybody was so great, and it wasn't just, hey, we're battlers in the game, and it wasn't just the battlers, like the bigger stables like Johnny, and like we've just got offers from everybody. You know, it was the bigger stables as well, saying, hey, we'll help you out, we'll take your horses, like we're here for you, and it was just, you know, it's just incredible.
You've always been well-liked people, the both of you, if I can say that, in the harness racing community. Is it different now when you walk through the stables? Do you see people and think, you know, that person was here when I needed them?
Yeah, like, it's certainly put a different perspective on our life. You know, like, hey, we had our first holiday in 12 years thanks to the Markhams, and I said to people, we're not waiting another 12 years. Life's precious, and hey, we all work hard and we play hard as well, but, well, some of us do, but, you know, you've got to enjoy life for the moment, because, you know, hey, you never know what's going to happen. You know, we work with horses and they're unpredictable, but you don't expect to get taken out when you're just driving to the races. You know, you go to work and you think, oh, hey, I might get kicked or might get hurt today with the horses, but what happened to us was just something, you know, surreal, really.
Not only did you have to worry about your horses and you had to worry about yourself, but I've known Peter Davis for a long time, and he's a person who likes to be doing things and moving around. So I can imagine he was a total pain in the arse as a patient.
Yes, yeah, he was. But ironically, he came better quicker than me. But yeah, no, he was a real pain in the arse. You're right there.
Come over here, pain in the arse. Mate, I know Margot's said most of it, but you never expect these moments in life, and they're horrible, but it must be heartwarming, I suppose is the best word, when you realise there's 100 people standing behind you.
Oh, it's incredible, Mick, and this award tonight's not so much about overzealous or us, it's about most of you people in this room. It's about pretty near everybody in this industry, and you know, it started with HRNZ, and pretty near every trotting club in New Zealand donated to us. And not only that, just individuals, people, the generosity, and it you know, there's a silver lining to this tragic accident, and it was just what a wonderful industry this is to be part of. And you know, I sincerely hope that we got round and thanked, you know, pretty near everybody that did help us out. But you know, we probably missed some, and you know, it's just incredible, really, Mick, and just makes it a wonderful industry to be part of, and we'll be forever indebted to everybody that's helped us, and you know, in any way, and it was unbelievable. Yeah.
Mate, you're part of the family. Of course, we helped you. To the boys, well done with overzealous. It's a remarkable time, and thank you for providing us with a special moment to give us some perspective, both to Margot and Pete, that we all have tough days at the office, but you can overcome a lot of stuff, and that perspective was never brought home more to us than when you guys recovered and we saw you back at the track.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, Mick, and as I said to a lot of people, I haven't had a bad day in 8 months. It's incredible to be here, and just be incredible to be part of, as I say, with this wonderful industry.
Ladies and gentlemen, Margot 9, Peter Davis, the team with overzealous. Good on you, fellas. Thank you very much. And the winner of the Cats Driver Cadet of the Year. God, this pains me to say this after what he said at the top of the show. Caleb Bublitz. Waikato's won something, you beauty.
Bloody up Waikato, eh?
Mate, all jokes aside, obviously you and I spoke at the Northern Harness Racing Awards, and you want to make a go at this. This isn't something you're going to say to yourself in 5 years, I had a crack at that. You're going to have a go at this until you get even better at it.
Yeah, that's the plan. I don't want to stop till I get to the best that I can be, and that's how it's going to be until I get there.
Mate, that's all you need to say. Congratulations, mate.
Yeah, mate. Cheers.
The Southern Harness leading junior driver of the year is John Morrison.
Who have been the trainers or the owners or anybody else in your life you would like to thank for helping you, because it's hard to win anything without a good support structure around?
Yeah, there's been quite a lot of, you know, ones to name, and when it come to driving, Ricky May was the biggest influence here. When I was being obviously from Mid Canterbury, that was the main man, and their sort of family friend and things like that, and sort of went there in school holidays and got the early grounding of shifting brake fences and walking around a paddock. Yeah, so no, it was quite good to get that early grounding, and he sort of taught you a lot, and yeah, just watching him, and yeah, there's been a lot of definitely the O'Reillys and things have been a big help, and sort of my early days I was at Mike Keenan's early on, and I worked there probably on and off school holidays and things for about 4 years, and he was really good. So then you get Stephen McRae and Malcolm Shindle, plenty of people out there to help you along the way.
I know the answer to this question, but we're going to ask it anyway, because you're a mid-Canterbury boy. If I can give you any race to win in the next 20 years, the next 2 years would be nice. What's the race you want to see Jay Morrison next to?
Out of mid-Canterbury ones? Or
or any race in the world?
Oh, I really like my trotters, and I think the Dominion Handicap would be the best one, I reckon, for me. That's what I would think anyway.
And when you say you love the trotters, why is that?
Well, Dad always trained 1 or 2, and they're always trotters because we'd done them in the morning. They're easy to gear up, I suppose, but we always had trotters and sort of got to drive them, and particularly when I was up at Mike Heenan's, well, he obviously breeds a lot of trotters, and that's all you got to drive. So, yeah, I've always liked them, and I've sort of got a handful of work of my own at the moment, and most of them are trotters as well. So, yeah, I tend to like them, but a good pace is good.
Mate, you're handling yourself like a young person who's just won the premiership. We hope to see much more success for you in the future. Good on you, John.
Thank you very much.
Continuing the driving theme, Ben Hope collected the award for leading UDR as a junior driver. And Blair Orange was the HRNZ Education and Training leading driver for the 2nd year running after reining home a phenomenal 218 winners for the season. For the 6th year in a row, the All-Stars of Mark Purden and Natalie Rasmussen were awarded Trainers of the Year, and at their request, the entire All-Stars team took to the stage to share in the accolades. Woodland Stud capped a remarkable year, taking out several awards on the night, including the King Better's Delight as the Pacing Stallion of the Year. Woodland's co-founder Charles Roberts was also named Breeder of the Year. And Majestic Sun was recognised as the Trotting Stallion of the Year after its progeny, such as Sunday Sun and Oscar Bonavina's success this past year on the track. Stay tuned. Just ahead, we see who's crowned Trotter, Pacer and ultimately Horse of the Year at the 2019 Harness Racing New Zealand Awards.
The What the Hill Trotter of the Year is Sunday Sun.
You're the favourite for the Dominion. You're the favourite for the Inter-Dominion. Has there ever been a moment in the last 2 or 3 months where you've just woken up or in the middle of the night and thought, my God, we're favourite for the real ones now?
Yes, we have, but I'm trying not to think about that. There are so many things that can go wrong, and at the end of the day, they're not machines, they're just animals. So, yeah, we're just praying and just living the dream.
It must be amazing to think the Dominion being what the Dominion is. It's our greatest race we have every year for the Trotters, that you've got the favourite for that, you're here on your home track, and now he's a horse whose manners would suggest that that's probably not going to be the thing that lets him down. He's probably going to get a fair crack at this.
Yes, certainly. And the belief has always been that he is a stayer. Robert would tell you early on that he is a stayer, and he's shown that with his races.
When you won the Anzac Cup, both John and Robert had their first Group 1 training success for trotters that Robert could remember. He thinks he might have won one 30 years ago, but he can't remember it. So it's a pretty special moment. Here's a guy who's a legend of our industry and his son in a legendary family, and you have helped him achieve something very special to him with your horse.
Yeah, I'm very pleased for them. I tried to get Robert to come up, but he is today a broken down racehorse and is unable probably to stagger up here onto the stage. And John is also one who doesn't want to take the limelight, but you know, the success of this horse is down to the full team which is there. It really has been a team effort.
Okay, you're going to wake up in about under 2 months and you're going to come to the races for Dominion Day. It's actually show day at Addington, and you're going to potentially have the favourite. What's that going to be like? Are you a guy who gets nervous on race morning, or... Now she pipes up. No, all right, good as gold. I'm going to ask you this. I don't care if you don't want to talk. What's Colin like on race morning?
Not good. Not good.
Pacing, talking too much, coffee, moody. What's a bad driver to the track?
Yes.
Mate, are you getting more used to it now? Getting used to going to these Group 1s and thinking, if this goes all right, we're probably going to win this.
No, still get very, very nervous.
Mate, it sounds at the moment like, oh, you've won Trotter of the Year, you've won 4-year-old Trotter of the Year. Oh, this is easy. You've won the Harness Jewels, but you battled with the breed for a long time where there weren't many years like this. It's been well earned.
Yes, it's been a long, hard journey, but you know, as I say, it is all about the horse. You know, the mother, old start-ons in the paddock, and I talk to her every day.
Does that help with the nerves? Or?
Yeah, well, it does a bit. She's not much of a conversationalist, I'd have to tell you. But I do have a chat to her. She's still a grumpy old thing, as she always was. And the brother, the full brother, which is up until this one came along, was my best horse, Uncas. I brought him back from Australia, and now he's there, so I can have a little chat with him from time to time as well.
It's good for news to you, Nancy.
Yep.
She talks about as much as start on.
Yeah, she does, yeah.
Mate, be nice to your wife on race mornings. Don't drive her around the bend. Congratulations on Trotter of the Year, and good luck for what we hope is going to happen over the next couple of months.
Thank you very much.
It gives me great pleasure to present the Tabby Harness Racing 2019 Outstanding Contribution Award to two of the most respected people in harness racing, Colin and Julie DeFilippi.
When you hear a list like that, read out by the boss of Harness Racing New Zealand, it must hit you. You think, wow, I've done a pretty good job over the last 30 odd 40 years.
Take away the last 12 months, Mick, I'm flat winning the race these days.
Age catches up with all of us, CJ.
Oh, you got a wee way to go yet.
You know what? I never told you this. I've known you for a long time. When I was a kid on the West Coast, when you had our Mana win the bonus, I used to see you in those blue colours, and I thought, wow, that's Colin DeFilippi. And it's not just me. There's people out there sitting here right now who have raced horses with you since, who used to see you and Mike and think, that's the DeFilippi brothers. That's the impact you had on young people who got into the game. Some of those people may not be in this room tonight if you weren't so good at what you did.
I don't know how to answer that, Mick. Mike was always going to be the horseman. He always had natural talent. And I was just lucky I followed in his footsteps.
So what were you going to do for a job?
Well, I really didn't know when I left school, or before I left school, but I got matey with Bruce Negus, and Bruce was the bright one of the pack. He went to university full time and was finding it easy. I was going to be an accountant because the only thing I was good at was figures. And I left school and I worked at Pines in the trust department, and I was doing part-time university, and I think I was there 3 months and I thought, this is not for me.
No. Would have been a waste of an amazing talent. So when you went into the racing business, which is in your blood, when did you decide, you know what, I'm not bad at this? Or did it take you longer than Mike? Because Mike had a real arrogance about him when he was a younger man, a very confident driver.
Yeah, I always looked up to Mike. He had natural ability. He had an old head on young shoulders. And, you know, when I was younger, I really wasn't that keen on horses. I worked them for my father. My father was a pretty good horseman all round. He could break him in, he could shoe him, he could ride him, and he was scared of nothing. And he had a wee bit of success, which probably helped. But it wasn't until I probably come to 2021 that it was then that I realised I just wanted to do the horses, mate.
Okay, so you start to get good at it and better drives come and obviously family life comes. Who's the horse that changed you? Who was the horse that said, okay, everybody needs that flagship horse to come into their life? Who was yours?
Without a doubt, our Marta. He came along at the right time. Couple of good owners. We met on a trip to Tasmania. The next youngest couple on a tour there that Paul Davies and Colin Maynard took. Half the tour was from Southland and the other half from Christchurch, and a lot of them are still friends. So he was just a fluke, you know. He'd been tried by 2 trainers. He'd been sacked by a very good trainer. And Jenny and Roger Barron asked us to take him as a late 3-year-old, or he'd just turned 4. And I said to Roger, I'll leash you a young one. I said, I think you're wasting your time, you know. Anyhow, he talked us into taking him, and I had him a week, and I was talking to the previous trainer after a week, and I said, what was wrong about Shell Hanover? He said, typical bloody Shell Hanover. He said he could pace up the road, side of a road. He said, get on the track, he'd go rough. Oh, that's a bit funny. So I offered him to a good trainer for lease, and he didn't want to take him. He said, no, I don't want you Shell Hanover 4-year-old. So anyhow, I went back and I hobbled him again on the Monday, and he paced okay. I put some shoes on him on the Tuesday and went out and hobbled him on the Wednesday, and he went rough, and I thought, what a wasted set of shoes this was. Anyhow, it didn't take long, but he just turned the corner, and in 8 weeks he qualified. He'd been in the paddock for 4 months before we got him. So it just shows you what good horses can do, mate.
He was a very good horse. Obviously, he raced in a very tough era, but Kim's Girl raced in a brutal era against Yule Star, Shaker Maker, Courage Under Fire came into open class. Christian Cullen was still on the scene when she was there in Holmes DG. How special was it to win your race with Julie and you in partnership on your track here, the New Zealand Cup back in 2001?
Oh, for sure, mate. She's a lovely feminine mare. Nice fine leg, nice head. Just had natural speed, and she just had to be driven that way with it. The Cup was always the race you want to win. Any young fella wants to win. I've been beaten in it twice with our Mana and got beaten in a race, but I thought I drove the perfect race with Tilden Dean. And a little fella from Methven got up and bet me on the line. Should never have beaten us that day, mate. You know.
Thank you, Lord.
As you know, yeah.
He's beaten 6 other people too. Don't worry. He's done it a fair bit. So then she was a wonderful mare. But then I think maybe a horse who must be close to one of your favourites, Stent, came along a lot longer, but he was just a wonderful horse, and he took you to Australia and back a few times, and he won the Rowe Cup, even though I doubted he could stay, and everybody made sure I found out about that afterwards. God, he was a lovely animal.
He was a lovely horse, yes. He probably wasn't an out-and-out star, but he had manners, and he had gait, and he had speed, and yeah, and you know, I think the race that really, well, the Rowe Cup was one race I always wanted to win. I looked after my father's horse when he won him 45 years ago, CR. But I think winning the Southern Star and Aussie and beating the Aussies and doing it in a new setup where they raced twice in one day was pretty special. This is one of our highlights.
Julie has been your wife a lot longer than I've known you, but she's also now your training partner. What does that bring to your training operation, and what has Julie brought to your life?
Probably.
Do you want to go down and come back again and have 5 minutes to think about it?
No, she's the unsung hero, Mick, as you know. You know, no one person can train a team and do it properly. it's not just about, you know, a lot of wives are not in partnership, but they probably do the most work and do the hard part. I'm not too proud to say these days she gets up at 6:15, does an hour's housework, goes and walks for an hour with a friend, and I'm still in bed. So, you know, what can I say?
My sort of man, CJ. I love it. Julie, I'm just going to slide behind you over here and just have a quick word to you about Colin with the horses, because you're a horse person. We know that. Obviously you train, but also you show your own horses. I'm not going to ask him because he won't tell me. What makes Colin good at training horses and driving horses?
Patience. Patience. He has a lot of patience. He's great with horses that won't pace or are hard to get going. He doesn't get flustered with them. He's just gentle and kind.
With all the great moments you've had together on the racetrack, is there one that stands out to you? Obviously, when we stand here at Addington, the New Zealand Cup is the most special of all races. I presume that's one of them. What are other moments you've had over the last 20 years since you've been in the partnership where you thought to yourself, this is why we do it?
Everyone's a good one. It really is. My special ones would be Stent, our Mana, of course Kim. Yeah, we've had some lovely horses, and they're all good ones, but it's hard to pick one. It really is.
I've been lucky enough to know your family for a long time, a very close-knit family, and the support's always been there. We lost Darwin a long time ago. We all still feel it. We memorialise them in a race every year. But you've also had that support every time. When back in Courage Under Fire's days, when Colin was away, you would hear him ring home, and you would have that coming through from the family, how happy they were with him and stuff. It really must be very special to know that your people are behind you.
Oh, absolutely. We are a family business. We've got Mandy and Brad behind us. Unfortunately, we've just lost Lauren. She's moved on. And stupidly, Mandy and I have picked up Lauren's job, so we're working double hard. But without the support, I couldn't do the showing. I couldn't work for the breeders. You know, it's a team effort from everybody.
And the New Zealand Bloodstock Standard Bred Horse of the Year is Spankin'.
We've spoken to this most successful of syndicates a lot tonight. You know about syndicating horses more than most. How special is it to have people like this who give their horses every chance? They go to the stable where they're given every chance, and it seems to be a very harmonious situation when things weren't going well as a 3-year-old with Spankin', and when they are going well after winning a Miracle Mile. It must be remarkable to race horses with people you're now so close to.
Yeah, look, absolutely. I mean, we all get on as great mates. Win or lose, we enjoy it. Again, with horses, as we've said all night, you know, you have great times when they're going well, and you have some tough times when you're just about at a big race and the shit hits the fan, basically. So, I mean, this horse, as I said, was sort of down and out. I mean, we had a really disappointing 3-year-old season, and it's credit to Mark and Natalie getting this horse back on the track, and 2 of the vets. The horse spent quite a bit of time down there in Matamata, so they did an incredible job with the horse.
Let's talk about the horse, because he was the best 2-year-old of the season, and you could have quite easily thought, okay, that's all he was. He was a 2-year-old. You could have given up on him, but it sounds like Mark and Nat knew what they were doing and said, hold on, just be patient here.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to listen to the best. I mean, when you're rocking and rolling with a 2-year-old, I mean, and it's almost like a cash register, and he started off that way, and then all of a sudden you hit the wall and you think, what the hell's happened, you know? But, you know, you got to listen to them, and you got to listen to the experts, and I think as a syndicate here, we do that, you know, and if Nat and Mark say the horse needs to be turned out, it needs to be turned out.
You're a proud Auckland boy. You've got a hometown Inter Dominion just around the corner. You've got the favourite for it. Now, you've won a pacing one on your home track. It's no small deal. So you won a trotting one on your home track. It's no small deal. But a pacing Inter Dominion, that's a whole new thing. That's to have the favourite for that on your home track, which is 5 k's from your house, must be pretty exciting, Ken.
We were pretty excited last Inter Dominions, and sort of we fell on our face a wee bit. So It makes us very nervous, I think, all of us, when you've got a favourite. But it's bloody damn exciting to have it, I can tell you. So, you know, we've got the New Zealand Cup first, then the Inter-Dominion. So, one step at a time. Let's have a crack at the New Zealand Cup first, and then obviously the Inter-Dominions.
I'd like to call up Gary Woodham. Gary's also a member of your syndicate. So, there he is, hiding behind me. Come over here, brother. You've come into harness racing, and it's helped you in your job. You're one of the bosses at the TAB, now called Rita, and you've come in with these people here. Does it make you, as someone who's high up at Rita, more sympathetic to this harness racing industry? Because at the moment, all the push is for the galloping boys, to be honest.
Well, I've actually owned horses since I was 16. I'm 58 now, so it's always been harness for me. So I'm one of the guys just from the grassroots that used to bunk school, Cashmere High School, come to Cup Week. And funny enough, find my science teacher standing next to me in the stand most times. So if Mr. Bowden's still alive, we finally did good, you and I. But no, look, honestly, being around the people that are, this is the sport, this is the industry, these are the people that know what goes on. We've got a job to do, sure, and that's make sure there's enough money in the kitty, and we're trying to do our best. But it's for these people that I work. I've given up a couple of really good jobs prior to come to this, and it's because I have an investment in the industry and I care about these people that are out here, and so we're trying to do our best that way.
And good luck with that, Mark. Before we go, I need to have a quick word here because you've won Horse of the Year. If you can pop up here, buddy. After you just got ridiculed in the previous speech, where everybody said they were more scared of Nat than you. You've got an enormous team of good horses, so more than anybody's ever had. So when a horse like Spankum starts to sulk and he needs to be gelded at 3, is it easy to sort of put him to your back of your mind and forget he exists, or did you think he was good enough to come back?
No, I always thought he was good enough to come back, Mick. We took him to Victoria, and things changed as they do with horses when you travel, and he just turned the wrong way, and he was always going to be better if he was gelded, and that turned out the way it was.
Were you surprised by what happened last year? Because Kaikoura was like, wow, Inter-Dominion's incredibly strong, and then obviously a massive one in the Miracle Mile, segueing into Taylor Mile and the Messenger. Were you surprised he could put that together?
Probably the turning point was the Inter-Dominions, where he won 2 heats of the Inter-Dominions, and his other run was a fantastic effort too. So that was probably the turning point where you thought this is a serious horse.
He's only had the 2 starts back this season, and it's hard to say he's better than being a horse who won $1 million race, but he does look great. How does he feel?
He doesn't look great.
He does look great.
Oh, he does, yeah.
It's been a long night, Marcus, trust me.
Look, yeah, no, he's on track to probably have another great season, and just hoping that we don't have any issues. But he's certainly come back and couldn't be happier with where he's at the moment.
Mate, thanks for all the thrills you gave us last season. It's pretty apt that you trained the Horse of the Year along with Natalie, of course. Well done to the owners, mate, and best of luck for the season that lies ahead.
Cheers, mate.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Horse of the Year is Spankum. So there you go, we've crowned our new Horse of the Year in Spankum and our Trotter of the Year in Sunday Sun. The great news is they're both 5-year-olds and they're going to be racing at our major carnivals coming up at Alexandra Park and of course Cup Week here at Addington. Hope you enjoyed celebrating with us tonight. The box seat will be back next Wednesday as we count down to the New Zealand Cup.